Hello everybody and welcome to this new tutorial for making a 2D game in Unity. And here we are going to try to create a cowboy runner. It's an idea of an infinite runner. So as you can see, our background is moving as the game. So these are this type of the game that we want to create. So here we have our character. Now we are trying to jump over an obstacle, and now it's getting the die effect. It's the game over, and you go to the main menu or hit the play again. You can pause the game and reactivate the game. This is an obstacle that we can jump off. Now we are going to hit with the zombie and die again. So as you can see, we are progressing in the meter, so we can counter the let's say coins or progress of the player, so we can give it more speed or harder obstacles and everything. Now if we will go to the scene view, this is how we are going to demonstrate our just to check out the player, just to get not to get dying. And this is the infinite loop that we are trying to create. As you can see, at the end of it, it's gone, and in the right side we are spawning our obstacles and everything else. So that's a fabulous game to create, and we'll try to do it together. So let's get started, and I know that you are all excited as I am, so let's get started and making our game. So let's start by going to the Unity Hub, and by clicking the Unity icon I get to this section, and we'll go to projects. As you can see, we have no projects yet, but we are trying to build like an infinite runner, and therefore we're gonna go to new project, select the 2D because we're aiming to the 2D view, and we can call it the cowboy runner. Now here we can select the destination of the folder, so you can click on this icon to go to your specific file location, so you can choose it over here and click on the create. As you can see, it just added the cowboy runner. Now we're in the Unity editor. So let's start by importing our assets, and they are in the description below. And once we did that, we can proceed with our game. Now first, and before we do anything, we'll just click on the scenes. If there is no scenes, we can click on the create new folder and call it scenes. Just delete that, and inside of this area we can file save scene. You can click the save as and scenes, and hit the gameplay. So as you can see, it created a gameplay, and this one is no longer needed. Saving the scene is one of the most important things to do when progressing with our game. So just bear in mind to keep saving any changes of the game, so you won't lose any progress. You can click the file save if you are at the same scene, or save as I did before. So you have a shortcut for that. This is for the PC type. Control Shift and S for the save as, or Control S. On the Macs there are Command S, I believe, and Command Shift S, so it's basically the same. Now in order to import our scenes, our assets, you can download it from the link that I gave you, and you should, after extracting the files, you should find these three files folders, and we gonna simply drag and drop them over here at the assets when the assets is highlighted. So as you can see, now we got all the assets that we just downloaded. This is as you can see, it's a WAV file, sprites, backgrounds, as you can see, etc. Now if you hold the control button and scroll down with your mouse, you can adjust the size of it. I like to keep it simple and do it this way so I can look at my folders in a more fashionable and let's say ordered way. So the first thing that we need to do is to configure our images and background. So let's start by clicking on the background. As you can see, we have the size of it, it's 512 on 512. It's the size of our let's say gameplay device. So this, you should leave it like this. Now select both of them by holding the control. You can click on this one or this one and deselect and select. You get the idea. The first thing that we need to do is to make sure that generate mip maps are off. Basically this is for 3D, more for 3D, so we won't use it right now. Now as I mentioned before, we are going to change the settings for our background images, and as you can see, you have or I have only 3 icons. Now if I download the iOS build settings, I should find an iOS over here and another icon for another platform. So if you don't see these icons, don't worry, you only need to download the Android or iOS or the PC, Mac, Linux, and etc. So if we'll change the settings on the default, it will change on the other platforms as well. So basically we'll just make sure that we are at the default settings. Now selecting this max size determines the resolution of our view for the game. So basically if I'm aiming for the smaller size, I should choose the 512 because it's exact and similar to my background file. But if I choose the smaller one, it will be blurry and not so clear. So we'll choose the 512, and for the format we can choose the RGBA 32-bit because it gets more clear and good vision of the image. So RGBA, basically automatic is also okay, but I like to choose this one. Just don't forget to apply. Go to our sprites, buttons. We'll do the same for our button. Generate mip maps are off, 512, 32 RGBA, apply. Yeah, we'll do that for the same others. We go to obstacles, and I'll just make sure that, oh, this one's okay. So as you can see, we have these 1, 2, 3, and 4 are less than 512, and the closest higher rate is 512. But this one over here is above the 512. So what we're gonna do is to make sure its generate mip maps are off, and we'll choose the 1024. So this is all for the appearance of our image. If we'll choose the higher closest resolution, it will affect the appearance of our image, so bear in mind. And if you'll see that your image in a more progress, if you had a mistake or something and you'll see that it's a blurry or a bit not proportional, so just make sure that you choose the higher closest rate for your image. So I'll choose the 1024 and the 32-bit, apply. I'll go to the others, Control A for selecting them all, just deselect the obstacle 4, and here I choose the 512. We'll go to sprites again, layers. As you can see, these are higher than 512, so as you guessed it, it's 1024, the closest higher rate. So this is the same. Okay, so choose both of them, and we go to multiple. As you can see, these are sprite sheet for the player, for the movement, for the jump. We'll get to that in later mode, so just bear with me. And here, just make sure generate map maps are off, 1024, 32-bit, and apply. Now I just jumped into another Unity project just to show you how to change the because there's a change in the Unity 2019 from older versions. What we need to do is to pack these 5 sprites as one in a pack. So basically there should be, as under the sprite mode, there packer or image packer, and we need to do some simple step. We'll go to the window, 2D, and the sprite packer. So basically, as you can see, legacy sprite packing is disabled. Enable it in edit, project settings, editor. Okay, so open project editor settings, and if you can see, sprite packers mode is always enabled. So what's the deal? What we need to do is go to the always enabled legacy sprite packer, and that's it. This should give us the packer itself. So let's put it over here. Now we need to packing tag, as you can see, and to call it obstacles, and hit the apply button. Now another difference is as we go to the sprite editor, if we click one of them and go to the sprite editor, it says that no sprite editor window registered. Please download 2D sprite package from package manager. So we'll go to the window package manager. And let's see. All packages. Okay, so this 2D sprite, you click on the install. And let's see, now the sprite editor is working. Now that's it. Now if we go to the sprite packer, we'll go to pack, hit pack, and as you can see, now we got these 5 images as a one pack. So that's it for that. Now we still have some simple step to do. We go to sprites, players, and click the player settings. As you can see, now we can select the sprite editor, and what we want to do is to slice, automatic, and slice. Now as you can see, now we have this border on each one of the sprites itself, and therefore we're gonna create an animation for this player. And as you can see, he's stepping forward, jumping and jumping and jumping again. You'll get the hang of it. Just click the apply and go to the zombie, same thing. sprite editor, slice, slice. Now we have 8 figures of this image. Apply and to exit. Now as you can see, now we can select each one of this image. Just look over here. Now it can move. So this is the idea of the animation, and every character that you'll find on the internet, even if you create one of your own, just make sure that you create a couple of them, and you can just adjust the hands and the legs for every format that you want, so it can create an animation. Well, thanks you for watching this video so far. We're gonna continue our project on the next video, and we'll try to create an animation for the player and for the zombies so they can move, and we can see our game becomes more live and such as. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.